I sing the body electric. The armies of those I love engirth me, and I engirth them. They will not let me off till I go with them and respond to them and discorrupt them and charge them full with the charge of the soul. Was it doubted that those who corrupt their own bodies conceal themselves? And if those who defile the living were as bad as those who defile the dead? And if the body does not do as much as the soul, and if the body were not the soul, then what is the soul? The love of the body of a man or woman balks account. The body itself balks account. That of the male is perfect, and that of the female is perfect. The expression of the face balks account, but the expression of a well-made man appears not only in his face. It is in his limbs and joints also. It is curiously in the joints of his hips and wrists. It is in his walk, the carriage of his neck, the flex of his waist and knees. Dress does not hide him. The strong, sweet, supple quality he has strikes through the cotton and flannel. To see him pass conveys as much as the best poem, perhaps more. You linger to see the back of his neck and shoulder side. The sprawl and fullness of babes, the bosoms and heads of women, the contours of their shape downward, their style as we pass in the street, the folds of their dress. The swimmer naked in the swimming bath, seen as he swims through the transparent green shine, or lies with his face up and rolls silently to and fro in the heave of the water. The bending forward and backward of rowers in their rowboats, the horseman in his saddle, girls, mothers, housekeepers in all their performances. The group of laborers seated at noontime with their open dinner kettles and their wives waiting. The female soothing a child, the farmer's daughter in the garden or cow yard, the young fellow hoeing corn, the sleigh driver guiding his 6 horses through the field, the wrestle of wrestlers, 2 apprentice boys, quite grown, lusty, good-natured, native-born, out on the vacant lot at sundown after work, the caps and coats thrown down, the embrace of love and resistance, the upper hold and the under hold, the hair rumpled over and blinding the eyes, the march of firemen in their own costumes, the play of masculine muscle through clean-setting trousers and waist straps, the slow return from the fire, the pause when the bell strikes suddenly again, and the listening on the alert. The natural, perfect, varied attitudes, the curved neck, the bent head, and the counting. Such like I love. I loosen myself, pass freely, am at the mother's breast with the little child, swim with the swimmers, wrestle with the wrestlers, march in line with the firemen, and pause, listen, and count. I know a man, a common farmer, the father of 5 sons, and in them were the fathers of sons, and in them were the fathers of sons. This man was of wonderful vigor, calmness, and beauty of person. The shape of his head, the pale white and yellow of his hair and beard, the immeasurable meaning of his black eyes, the richness and breadth of his manners, these I used to visit him to go and see. He was wise also. He was 6 feet tall. He was over 80 years old. His sons were massive, bearded, clean, tan-faced, handsome. They and his daughters loved him. All who saw him loved him. They did not love him by allowance. They loved him with personal love. He drank water only. The blood showed like scarlet through the clear brown skin of his face. He was a frequent gunner and fisher. He sailed his boat himself. He had a fine one presented to him by a ship joiner. He had fowling pieces presented to him by men who loved him. When he went out to hunt or fish with his 5 sons and many grandsons, you would pick him out as the most beautiful and vigorous of the gang. You would wish long and long to be with him. You would wish to sit by him in the boat that you and he might touch each other. I have perceived that to be with those I like is enough. To stop in company with the rest at evening is enough. To be surrounded by beautiful, curious, laughing, breathing flesh, to pass among them or touch anyone or rest my arm ever so lightly round his or her neck for a moment. What is this then? I do not ask any more delight. I swim in it as in a sea. There is something in staying close to men and women, and in the contact and odor of them, and in looking on them, that pleases the soul well. All things please the soul, but these please the soul well. This is the female form. A divine nimbus exhales from it from head to foot. It attracts with fierce, undeniable attraction. I am drawn by its breath as if I were no more than a helpless vapor. All falls aside but myself and it. Books, art, religion, time, the visible and solid earth, the atmosphere and the clouds, and what was expected of heaven or feared of hell are now consumed. Mad filaments, ungovernable shoots play out of it. The response likewise ungovernable. Hair, bosom, hips, bend of leg, negligent falling of hands, all diffused. Mine too diffused. Limitless, limpid jets of love, hot and enormous, quivering jelly of love, white blow and delirious juice, bridegroom night of love, working surely and softly into the prostrate dawn, undulating into the willing and yielding day, lost in the clasp of the cleaving and sweet-fleshed day. This is the nucleus. After the child is born of woman, then the man is born of woman. This is the bath of birth. This is the merge of small and large and the outlet again. Be not ashamed, women. Your privilege encloses the rest and is the exit of the rest. You are the gates of the body and you are the gates of the soul. The female contains all qualities and tempers them. She is in her place in